everyone, it's Jen. Welcome back, or welcome to Bookish Bond. So today's video will not be too long. It's my February wrap-up, my February thoughts about everything I read. 3 of these, you've already heard my in-depth thoughts in my romance vlog video, which I'll link down below in case you haven't seen that. And then another one of these books is part of my Go With The Flow, so I will tell you my rating, but I'm not going to go into too much detail on that one either because in March you will have your first Go With The Flow video that covers books from January, February, and March. So I'm going to do those 4 times a year for you. So let's just get started. So I read a total of 7 books this month. One of them was on my Kindle and one of them was from my library. All of them were physical or physical in combination, where I listened to it and also read it, like, just to keep the story moving with my busy life. I did read a book of the month this month, so that helps me with one of my goals. So yeah, I have an average rating of 3.6, so not the highest rated month, and I read 2,953 pages. So let's get started. The first one I read in February was The Survivors by Jane Harper. This was my Go With The Flow book, and I didn't love it. I gave it 2 stars. We will leave it at that. I will give you my more in-depth thoughts you will see next month, but I just don't think Jane Harper is an author for me. There were some good, strong points about in this book, and it's not a bad book. It just wasn't for me. So I know a lot of people love Jane Harper. Her premises always intrigue me, but yeah, I just gave it 2 stars, and I probably will unhaul this on my Pango at some point. Next, I picked up my 3 romance from that vlog, which the first one was on my Kindle. It's The Air He Breathes. I gave that 3.5 stars. Then I read The Nanny by Lana Ferguson, gave that one 3 stars, as you saw in my vlog. This one is very steamy, very open door, and on most of the pages. Not that that was a bad thing, but I think I didn't realize that going in, so just be aware of this one if you don't like a lot of sexy time that's open door. This one you would maybe want to skip over, but overall I gave it 3 stars. It was a good time. And then for the last book for that video, I read Flawless by Elsie Silver. As you know, this was my favorite. I gave this 3.5 stars. However, that's what I put on Goodreads like after I read it. But this book has kind of stuck with me. And I think I might need to move it up to a 4. I don't change my ratings very often, but I don't know if I rated this one fairly because I'm still thinking about it. So I'm thinking I'm going to move this up to a 4-star. We'll see. And then the next one I read was Sparks Like Stars by Nadia Hashimi. I gave this 4 stars. This was a beautiful, very well written historical fiction. I definitely would check out more by this author. This main historical fiction time that it took place was 1970s, when there was a communist coup that took place in Kabul, and you are following one of the girls that was affected by that. You also fast forward 30 years later, and someone from her past comes in her life. We have found family in this one as well. This one was a very hard-hitting read, but it was so beautiful. It was so well done. I definitely hope more people pick this one up, put that in someone's hands. It was very good. Okay, we had a lot of wind today, so excuse my staticky hair. I don't know what's going on, but I feel like my clothes are sticking to me. Such strong winds, I'm not sure. It's finally warmed up, and now we have this crazy wind. Anyways, okay, the next one I read was The Games Gods Play by Abigail Owen. I have the jacket cover somewhere around here, but this one was part of a read-along with Lindsay and Sarah. They had chat, we broke it up into different sections, and then there were check-ins. There's going to be a live show on as well. It probably will be up by the time you're seeing this, but I enjoyed this so much. I gave it 4 stars. It read more like a YA fantasy to me than an adult fantasy, even though there is an adult scene in here. But I probably would be okay with my almost 17-year-old daughter reading this one, even with that adult scene. But this book was so much fun. The games are called labors in this book, and they are so intense. I loved the main character in this story so much. It ended on a cliffhanger. I cannot wait to get my hands on book 2. If you like Percy Jackson or Hunger Games, you'd like this. The other one that it reminded me of, which I haven't read, but my daughter and I were talking, and she's like, you know what, that kind of makes me think of Lore by Alexander Bracken, kind of similar, and she loved that when she read it. So she's put this now on her radar, on her list for at some point. She's a junior in high school, so she has no free time right now, but at some point I think she would like to pick this up. But yeah, it was so much fun. Definitely check it out if you can. You can't go wrong. I read through it really fast. It was a page turner. It was intense action, all of the things, a lot of the feels too. It was so good. So good. And then last but definitely not least, my favorite of the month, my first 5-star, or the only 5-star of the month. The book is actually upstairs on my nightstand because I just finished it. But here's a jacket cover. That is Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. Oh my gosh, I loved his writing. I'm still a little bit intimidated by his bigger fantasy series, but definitely I see the hype. I get why everyone is obsessed and loves his writing. This was so whimsical, so much fun. I laughed out loud. I love the different characters and their voices. Obsessed with Tress. She's just such a amazing character. I just loved every page of this book. I also have I have Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson up here on my shelves, and so definitely am more excited to pick that up than I was before I read this. And so that'll be my next Brandon Sanderson trilogy I read. I think I'm going to do a book a month over the summer for my next Brandon Sanderson. But this was so much fun. It was so good. The writing in here is just top notch. So definitely 5 stars. Definitely pick this up. Don't be intimidated by it like I was, because it was great. It was so good. I'm so happy I read this. So that's all I have for you. I know that was short and sweet, but like I said, more of details in the vlogs that I'm putting out for you guys. But I'm excited to move on to March reading. You guys have heard my middle grade March plans, my regular March reading plans, so I have a lot to tackle in March. So I'm excited to get started. Yes, February was not the strongest month, but you know, I am so happy with my 4 and 5-star reads that I had this month. So happy reading. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.